Fukushima. The ground shook with absolute violence. Minutes later, the sea rose like a black wall on the horizon. Within hours, one of the most prepared nations in the world was left defenseless. This is the story of the day when nature surpassed technology. On March 11, 2011 at 2:46 p.m., a magnitude 9.0 earthquake struck Japan. It was one of the most powerful ever recorded. Buildings swayed, roads split apart, and the country paused, holding its breath between violent aftershocks. But the worst was yet to come. In the Pacific Ocean, the Earth's crust had shifted brutally. Water began to gather in silence. Minutes later, a colossal tsunami surged toward Japan's northeastern coast, growing in height and speed. When it reached land, nothing stopped it. Sea walls were overtaken, coastal towns vanished. Houses, cars, ships, and people were swept away like fragile toys. At the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, the waves flooded the emergency generators. The cooling systems failed. Without power, the reactors began to overheat. A natural disaster turned into a nuclear catastrophe. Explosions tore through the reactor buildings. Radioactive smoke rose into the sky. Thousands of workers fought against time, fully aware that every minute exposed them to potentially lethal levels of radiation. Entire cities were evacuated. Families abandoned homes, schools, and memories, uncertain if they would ever return. The fear no longer came from the ground or the sea. It came from the invisible. Meanwhile, the tsunami had claimed more than 18,000 lives along the Japanese coast. Bodies were searched for among debris, mud, and silence. The nation sank into deep mourning. For weeks, the world watched. Helicopters dropped water on unstable reactors. Engineers improvised solutions under extreme risk. Every decision could prevent or trigger an even greater disaster. Fukushima became a symbol of a boundary crossed. Proof that even the most advanced engineering can fail when nature decides to test every defense. When the sea finally receded and the reactors were stabilized, what remained was a wounded land. Japan rebuilt itself, but the memory of that day remains engraved. Fukushima was not just a disaster. It was a modern warning. No matter how much we master technology, the Earth still decides when everything can collapse.